Aloha guys, welcome to Kids Cooking Local again. Thank you very much for having me. My name is Chef Adam Gilbert, formerly with Plantation Tavern, also with Hawaii Produce CSA Cookbook and Vinaigrette, powered by Plantation Tavern. And today we're gonna make a tomato, kale, cucumber, and quinoa salad. This salad came out of the cookbook I wrote about Hawaii produce, and I'm looking forward to share it with you because 90% of it is local ingredients sourced. Mostly I source them from Kalamata Farm out in Waianae, but they can be sourced at one of 35 farms across Oahu. So let's get cooking. First thing we're gonna do to have everything be completed at the same time is boil some water to cook our quinoa. The package on quinoa is a 2-to-1 ratio, so 2 cups of water to 1 cup of quinoa. We're gonna salt the water first. Our water's already boiling. I'm gonna put a good 2 pinches of salt in the water and then pour my 1 cup of quinoa in the 2 cups, as I said, of boiling water. And then just give it a quick stir around. Make sure it's not clumped up and it's not, it's broken up. And then set a clock in your head or a phone or something for 15 minutes. Check on it in 12, and when the water is completely absorbed, you're good. We have some kale from Kalamata Farm. This is called curly kale. I'm gonna show you how to clean everything up, chop everything up. We're gonna get it in the bowl and then toss it with the quinoa. The premise of this is really a Greek salad base. So it's got Kalamata olives, feta cheese, beautiful tomatoes, some lime juice, some cilantro, some red onion, and cucumber and kale. We got some cilantro here. You can use the stems. You don't have to use the stems. I picked the bottom part of the stem out because I don't like to chew it. So I'll just pinch these 2 leaves here and just pop the top, and then I end up with these little stems. People chop them up and use them. You don't feel like you have to go either way. In a restaurant, I wouldn't use them. But if I'm barbecuing on the back porch, I probably would, right? So we're gonna do a quick chop for this. And then again, the cilantro is locally sourced out at Kalamata Farm. I spend a lot of time out there. My kids spend a lot of time out there. I hope you guys get a chance. It's very educational, informative, and a great place to get local, inexpensive produce. And we're just gonna put everything in our bowl here. So our onion, it's a half a red onion. I'm gonna slice it in half the long way because I don't like giant chunks of raw onion. Again, preference, you can do it what you like. I'm just gonna slice it thin. Because like I said, personally, I don't like thick raw onion pieces. If you do, all good. I'm just gonna do essentially a quarter of that onion. For the cucumber, we're gonna slice it the long way. It's full of seeds, right? Seeds are not your friend when it comes to cucumbers. If you put cucumber seeds in a salad, for example, it is going to turn to mush by tomorrow, or maybe a day and a half from now. So personally, I pull them all out on everything. Just take a spoon, your cucumber open faced, and pull down and just kind of work through it till they all pop out of there. And you got a clean, smooth inside, like a canoe, yeah? And your other one. There are 3 varieties of cucumber that I know of, and there's probably more, that grow on Oahu. Japanese cucumber, English cucumber, and American. Again, you can cut it how you like. I'm gonna cut it 1 long slit, so I have now quarter pieces. And I'm just gonna kind of cut it on the bias or at an angle and get rid of that brown spot. And probably cut it 1/8 of an inch wide. The tomatoes that grow here, there's thousands of tomato varieties that grow in Oahu. These guys are unreal. I'm not even kidding. They're so sweet. They're so packed with flavor. If you don't have cherry tomatoes, use a whole tomato and dice it. You can use Roma, any tomato really. I grabbed these from the farm because they were so delicious, but it's also going to factor how you end up cutting it, right? So these, I'm just gonna half them. Just cut them in half and throw them in the bowl. Again, if I was using a whole tomato, I would dice it. A Roma tomato, I would dice it. Depending on your size of tomato is how you're going to break it down for this dish. But really, at the end of the day, be creative. You know, be creative with your cuts, as long as they're uniform. Be creative with your ingredients. If it calls for an herb and you have basil, use basil. If you don't have basil, use cilantro. If you don't have cilantro, use dill. If you don't have dill, use parsley. It's okay to manipulate and play with recipes. That's what's fun about cooking, right? It's what keeps us all enjoying eating, right? Because when you enjoy the process, it's all about the process. So we're going to slice a few more of these guys, and then I'm going to switch to my Kalamata Olives here. Again, these, I'm just going to put 2 slices. So you get the olive, you know, it's oblong. I'm just going to put 2 slices in there. You can buy sliced olives at the grocery store. You don't even have to cut these things. You don't even have to add olives if you don't like olives. I love the salty flavor of an olive, though. And the meaty texture, it's excellent in something like this. When I say salad, too, I hope you're not thinking that it's a salad, oh, I'm going to be starving in 20 minutes, because this salad is not. It's with quinoa. Quinoa is an enriched grain from the Aztecs. It's excellent for you. Look it up. It's also filling. And when you add the kale and these other vegetables, and we're going to squeeze in some lime juice here, you got this citrusy note on the end, which makes it feel light, doesn't overfill you, but satiates you, right? Keeps you in a place of comfort. Kale. I don't know if we've worked with kale before, but it's pretty simple. Grab and pull. Some pieces are missing the back of the stem. Just clean it up as best you can. You don't want to eat the stem of kale. It's not good for sure. And we're gonna do kind of like, I'm gonna call it a chiffonade of kale. I'm gonna roll it up cigar-like and then do a thin slice across the top of it. Kale is a little bit, what's the correct way to say that? Woody. It's a little bit more dense of a lettuce. I believe it's actually a cabbage family, which you could easily substitute cabbage into this dish instead of kale too. But see, I'm just gonna pinch it hard, roll it up, and do some slices. The reason I bring up that it's a little woody is you want it a little bit smaller pieces instead of large pieces to chew on. Okie dokie. Keep your area clean as much as possible. Extraordinarily important to clean as you go. That way you don't have a giant mess at the end of it. Perfect for juice. We're just using the juice here, but they're soft enough to touch where they're perfect. Typically you go to the grocery store, you're going to get a lemon that's like really hard and dense, or a lime that's really hard and dense. That be the case, what you want to do is just roll your hand over it, over the cutting board. What it does is it breaks down the internal fiber and allows the juice to be released easier. It also allows the seeds to be released easier. So you will need a strainer to strain over the top. This one's a little bit harder, so I'm pressing down really firmly just to loosen it all up. Okay, I'm gonna check the quinoa, and we're good to go. So I'm gonna strain this out. So I strained my quinoa out. I laid it out on a sheet. I'm just gonna put in, what do I got here? 2 cups of quinoa. It's okay, it doesn't have to be exactly 2 cups. It doesn't have to be, it's food. Play with it, have fun. We all eat, right? I'm just gonna start mixing this up a little bit. And I'm gonna squeeze some lemon juice in here when I get it a little bit more mixed. Lemon juice is key. Lightens it up, freshens it up, also adds a clean, healthy citrus note. I don't know. We're just gonna half these guys. You see it's like water juice dripping out of it already. Just go around. Seeds are coming out nicely. Juice is coming out freely. And just twist it in your hand until all the juice comes out. And you can throw this in a glass of water. Drink it later. Try not to waste anything. I hate wasting stuff. Take these seeds, throw them in a paper towel, put them by your windowsill and wet it. You'll grow lemons. Once it sprouts, throw it in some dirt. Perfect. All right, let's give this some salt and pepper. Salt and pepper is to your own preference, to your own taste. I always put TT when I write recipes, S&P TT, salt and pepper to taste. Yeah, and then we're gonna mix it up. Some nice colors. You got the purple from the red onion, the black from the Kalamata olives, the red from the tomato. And let's get a plate. I'm just gonna plate this on a nice little platter here. Perfect for a healthy alternative for your football season upon us. I almost said go Patriots, but I didn't. We're gonna take some feta cheese here and just crumble some over the top. My cookbook that I have written, the CSA cookbook, actually it's interesting. I very intentionally only use feta cheese. So that way, you don't have to use feta cheese. That's the fun part about it too. You can use goat cheese, you can use really any cheese that you personally prefer. But I only put feta cheese so if you did have to buy something, buy a cheese, you can buy one item and use it for multiple recipes. So you're not wasting, now you gotta buy 3 cheeses for one cookbook, right? It's not, doesn't make sense. And then I got some pumpkin seeds here, which you can use mac nuts, you can use peanuts, you don't have to use anything. Just another optional garnish. And just give it a quick wipe and there we go. Hey guys, well I hope you had fun today. I enjoyed it. This is our finished product dish, tomato, kale, cucumber, quinoa salad. Again, my name's Chef Adam Gilbert. I appreciate you coming along for the ride and I look forward to seeing you all again. So keep cooking local and enjoy the process. Aloha.